All right. Trey Lance, the third overall pick in the draft, painstakingly selected by the 49ers. Oh, it was the guy they were going to draft all along. Never mind. Trey Lance says he's looking forward to learning as much as he can from Jimmy Garoppolo. Make your own joke on that. But look, Trey Lance didn't ask to be thrust into this awkward spot.
That's right.
He is. And it's inherently awkward. You got the guy that's the starter that took the team to the Super Bowl that the locker room is behind. And the team has written him off now, the organization, not the locker room. The organization's written him off because he can't stay healthy, but he's still there. And is he going to start? Is he going to play? Who knows? Meanwhile, Trey Lance is trying to figure out this whole NFL thing while there's this potentially toxic and poisonous situation to navigate that Trevor Lawrence doesn't have, that Zach Wilson doesn't have, that to a certain extent Justin Fields doesn't have because,
right.
We know it's a matter of time before he leapfrogs Andy Dalton. And Andy Dalton's got no history with the Bears. There's no one in that locker room that is the slightest bit chafed about the prospect of Justin Fields putting Andy Dalton on the bench.
No.
So this is just now we are 17 days removed from the draft. And this is where, you absorb the guy onto the team and you make it work. But there's a natural, inherent awkwardness to the situation that Trey Lance is going to have to figure out how to deal with, Chris.
100%, Mike. I mean, yeah, that's the current status of the situation with the 49ers. Hey, it's you kind of said it. You unpacked it there. It's rare. I mean, think about what we're talking about here. Yes, it's a quarterback for an organization he wins. He wins a lot for their team. Jimmy Garoppolo when he's on the field, but that's the big if. So there's that aspect. And yes, the last time he was on the field all the time, they were, going to the Super Bowl. So it is rare to see a team try to replace somebody like that. That makes the situation more intense and the microscope on it and everything like that, let alone like the draft circumstances that you mentioned and everything like that. That makes, more pressure on the situation and makes it more awkward and everything about it. So, it's an amazing situation. It really is. We're looking at a team that I think you and I and most people in football go, they're in the Super Bowl window. But yet, how often do we say that about a team and go, but they need a quarterback, but they want to change their quarterback? That's the weirdest thing on their football team. And I think that's what makes, everything like you're talking about just a different set of circumstances here.
You almost need to have one member of the coaching staff assigned to Trey Lance to constantly whisper in his ear, it's okay, it's all right, you're the guy,
Yeah,
don't worry about it, it's fine,
right.
It's fine, it'll be fine, you're the guy that's going to be here for the next 15 years, this will pass. Kyle Shanahan appearing with Michael Irvin on his podcast talking about the possibility that Trey Lance will indeed start, despite the fact that everyone in the organization is sending the message that Jimmy Garoppolo is their guy in 2021. Let's hear from Coach Shanahan.
You're saying that somehow if Trey comes in and he's off the charts, he looks like incredible on the field, he looks incredible in practice, that there's a chance that Trey can right now win the starting job as the quarterback?
Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance for that at every single position on our team. So there definitely is the way that you're saying about Trey. I'm not trying to give Florio some big headline that he makes an annoying statement out of.
Right.
But yeah, there is.
Right.
I think that'll be very hard. Jimmy's a really good quarterback. He's not just coming in and trying to take out some bridge quarterback or something. Jimmy is the guy who we brought here to be our franchise quarterback, and it really worked out for 1 year, and it doesn't mean it can't work out. We just hope he stays healthy.
Well, now we know why. Now we know why 3 years as a head coach has aged Kyle so badly. Hey, Kyle, if you're worrying about me, you're definitely worrying about the wrong things. I can tell you that for damn sure. If you're worrying about what I'm going to say about what you say, you should worry more about what you say, not what I'm going to say about what you say. I'm not the one that said Jimmy Garoppolo has to stay alive until Sunday.
Well,
I didn't say that.
He never said
right?
Jimmy Garoppolo has to stay alive either. He made a reference to the whole team. You made a headline that said Jimmy Garoppolo had to stay alive. I mean, Okay.
He's the one who had to say that he blew that statement. We can quibble over the details.
No, I understand. Yeah. I mean, listen. Hey,
but Chris,
hey, big guy,
Chris,
you're part of this. So what? Deal with it.
No.
are.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Hey, listen. I could be like Colin Cowherd and say, he's paying. He's listening. He's reading my website. He's listening to me. I don't care about that. What I care about is, why in the hell does a guy who has far better things to worry about than me worried about me? Do you think Bill Belichick would ever say anything like that? I don't think Bill Belichick even knows who the hell I am.
No, he does. And he can play stupid all he wants, but he does.
I have compared Kyle Shanahan to Bill Belichick.
Right.
I am not going to change my assessment of Kyle Shanahan as a coach. I don't like how the organization has handled the past 2 months, and I'm not afraid to say so. I don't like this weird shell game that I think they're playing with themselves over what the hell they're going to do at quarterback, and I think it all traces to blowing it on Patrick Mahomes, blowing it on Tom Brady, and this year they freaked out. And the result of this multi-week freak out is where we are right now.
Well, hey, listen, I mean, I don't deny any of that, but I'm not going to sit here and get mad. Like, listen, Mike, you're kind of a big part of the NFL.
No.
I mean, no. Most coaches in football. No, this is dead serious. I'm not trying to give you. No. Most shut up. You're going to have to hear it. You're going to have to hear it.
Will be fine.
Most coaches are paying attention to your website. Your website is a huge part of the narrative that goes on in the NFL. It is. So he's just being very self-aware and, maybe taking a little fun shot at you as he goes there. All right.
Wasn't fun for me.
Well, it was fun. It was all right. You're good.
No.
You're good. As tough as you are and as stubborn SOB that you are, you're fine. Don't you worry.
I like Kyle, and I'm not going to change my opinion of him because of that. That's fine. He can say what he wants. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But part of our job is to call out BS, and I think a lot of BS has been flowing out of the 49ers headquarters strategically because you can't always bare your soul. I get it. You can't come out and say exactly what you want to do. I still think it was odd for them to play whatever game they played once they moved up to the third spot. They knew they were getting whoever was left after Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson. Worst case scenario, they get one of those two guys instead. No one was going to jump them for whoever they wanted. They've created this gratuitous, unnecessary mystery.
Yeah, okay.
And it's led to this stew that they're now going to have to pick through to make sure Trevor Lawrence is okay, the locker room's okay. What are we going to do with Jimmy G? It's just more trouble than it's worth for a team that is on the cusp of being a Super Bowl team, a Super Bowl winner. They've already been a Super Bowl team. They're on the cusp of being a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, no, Mike, listen, I'm not going to argue much with what you said there. You're right. Some of the optics of the way the things were done with the draft and everything like that, they're a little weird. I don't know what else to say. Shanahan Lynch did what they thought they had to do to make sure they got the right quarterback. Yeah, I don't buy some of the stuff they're selling either. I'm with you. I don't know if they really need to make that move up there that aggressively and do all that as well. But obviously they felt a real desperate need that they needed to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, or that they need to make a move to start that process going, and that they like these quarterbacks. And I just think with that comment there, even though it's like, of course and all that, I think it's a very real possibility. Again, like we said, we know there's got to be competition, and it's not going to be easy to beat Jimmy Garoppolo, like Shanahan said, and all those type of things. But to what you said, they've made a mess of the bed, and it's a big situation, and there's a microscope on it. I think that makes more pressure to put the guy in and play, let alone the fact that we discussed many times, like the biggest issue is he hasn't played enough anyways. So, I think that as long as that Trey Lance continues to show growth, improvement, that the situation's not too big, I do think that they're going to do their best to get him in there and get him in there early. And I wouldn't be shocked to see him start in week 1. I think Shanahan has the offense and the brains and the scheme and the creativity to bring a guy like that along and not have it be like all on him and he's going to blow the game with one pass or something like that.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
If there's any truth to the notion that when they made the move from 12 to 3 back in late March, Kyle Shanahan intended to select Alabama quarterback Mac Jones and was gradually, persistently, and inevitably nudged toward Trey Lance.
Right.
And it really wasn't the guy he wanted. Does that make Kyle more likely to say he's not ready? Or does it make it more likely for him to accelerate it as a message to whoever wanted him, hey, we want a guy who's game ready. You think he's game ready? Here we go. Let's see. We'll put him out there and see what he can do. You guys are the ones that pushed me for him. I wanted a guy who's ready to play. We're going to find out if he's ready to play. Which way do you think he's more likely to go?
I think to accelerate it. I think the whole situation has more pressure on it to, like, accelerate it and make it go. And, like, yeah, some of the optics around it to, like, what you're saying, yeah, I'm definitely a believer. And the people I know around the league and things like that, yeah, I think that they made that move for Mac Jones. I do, and I think also with the optics of the situation, it's like you said, it's a team that's a Super Bowl ready, and almost everybody, the one thing everybody was in consensus about was that Mac Jones was the most pro-ready day one guy. So that's, to me, where I still believe that move was made for him. But, yeah, I think with all those things we've talked about, I think it does put more pressure on him and on Shanahan and, like, Trey Lance to kind of get this ball rolling and get it going and start playing football. I haven't thought about it a lot, but I think so, Mike. I think it does, don't you?
I could see at some level.
You could do either way. Now again, I get you.
My theory is that there's some Svengali in that organization that allows Kyle to move on his own to the place where they want him to go, just like when he pivoted from Kirk Cousins to Jimmy Garoppolo in 2017. And John Lynch is the one out of whose mouth the truth from time to time accidentally emerges, like when he said Kyle was in mourning when he didn't get Kirk Cousins and he got Jimmy Garoppolo instead. But I feel like there's somebody there who convinces Kyle on his own to pivot in a different direction. And if that's what happened, if Kyle genuinely made the decision on his own and he doesn't realize there's somebody that's trying to, pull the strings to get him to do it, then he is all in with Trey Lance and he's all in with the plan on Trey Lance. And he's not going to say, well, this guy's not ready. This guy's not ready. You guys wanted him. Look, he's not ready. I got to go with Jimmy G. I wanted Mac Jones. No, Kyle got to the point where he wanted Trey Lance. So he's going to be all in with Trey Lance.
I agree.
And it does make sense to get him on the field sooner than later. And I know that Jed York has said, it's a good problem to have if Jimmy Garoppolo comes in and they play really well. But it's
I don't
not
think
a good
that's a good problem. I'm with you.
That's not a good problem to have.
It's not. It's a disaster, actually.
It's not like the guy walks out the door and steps on a banana peel and breaks his leg. He played the full 2019 season. Chances are he'll play the full 2021 season, and the team is very good despite his flaws.
Yeah.
Then you have a problem.
Yeah, agreed. That's, to me, the dicey part of the situation, like we talked about early on in this right after the draft, before the draft, right? I mean, we talked about it. You could see the scenario, Jimmy Garoppolo starting, and, it's week 10 and the 49ers are 8-2. Okay, doesn't look like Trey Lance is playing this year. Oh, wait, the 49ers went to the playoffs, and lost only a handful of games and maybe won a playoff game, maybe two. Okay, now we're going to make the change now with all the pressure and more people in the locker room and the fan base liking Jimmy Garoppolo even more now? That's to me, I'm with you, Mike. That's trouble. That's how you can have a real issue in an organization. So that's where I would favor getting Lance on the field as well.
You better be damn sure that Trey Lance is Patrick Mahomes, because it was never an issue in Kansas City when they nudged Alex Smith aside after consistently going to the playoffs and realizing there was only so far he could take them. If you don't bring in a guy who takes you farther, you got a problem. So it puts more eggs in that basket for Trey Lance if that's how it plays out. But I still think that, number one, they're hoping for a pathway to trade Jimmy Garoppolo and get maximum value. And number two, if Lance is ready to go, I'm telling you, mid to late August, they approach Don Yee, Garoppolo's agent, and say, we can't pay you $25 million this year. We'll pay you $12. And if you can't do that, we're going to have to let you go, period, because our other guy's ready. Sorry, Jimmy. We paid you a lot of money over the past few years. We're sorry it's come to this, but this is just the way it is. I mean, that's one way that the dominoes fall if Trey Lance is ready and if the 49ers don't get an opportunity to unload that contract.
Yeah. No, I could see that. There's some wiggle room here for the 49ers, and I do agree with you in the fact that, they could stand pat for right now, see where things go. You're right. Trey Lance does well in training camp, preseason. Okay, there's a team that needs somebody. Maybe that's when they do try to, maximize their trade value for a Jimmy Garoppolo, something like that. But, yeah, if that doesn't happen, and as of right now, there's not really going to be any suitors out there for Jimmy G unless something happens, then it's like, okay, so what's going to happen now? Is Trey Lance going to start week 1? We're going to start Jimmy G and infuse Trey Lance into certain plays during the game? Or are we going to start Jimmy G with the mind of like what the Dolphins did last year, where they could go, screw it. We're 5-2, but we don't give a damn. We're taking Fitzpatrick out, and we're going with our rookie. I don't know. That's on the table too. So maybe that's something that they got some different avenues to take here, and we'll see how it plays out.
And if they let this thing play out through training camp in the preseason, the one risk that they consciously are taking is the possibility that the serious quarterback injury happens to them. Garoppolo tears an ACL, and $25 million is gone forever, because at that point he goes on IR and he gets every penny of it. So it's all calculated. It's all deliberate. There's a plan, but there is risk every step of the way.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.